herself down, and her head splits three ways. If you don't get 3 A's, her sweet daddy said, you're no child of mine, and as far as I'm concerned, you're dead. If you don't get 3 A's, her sweet daddy said, you're no...
Today, I want to talk about an album that I think desperately needs to be reissued. It actually disappeared from... It's not on any streaming sites. It's not available online, I don't think, at all. Because there was a disagreement with the record company, and I'll try to put a link. I don't think anyone wants me to read a statement from Morrissey, but I'll put a link where you can read about his opinion about what happened there. But in general, he felt that the label did not get behind this album and promote it the way they should have. It's a huge loss that whatever was done was not the right thing to do, right? And it's a huge loss that this album is out of circulation. But I want to say something else. It's also a huge loss that this album came out in a time when mastering, especially for something like CD, was complete trash. And I'm talking about the dynamic range, and I'm talking about the loudness wars. So I always felt that the vinyl copy of this was a little bit too compressed. But I've always enjoyed it. The CD, I actually opened for the first time today because I wanted to just listen to the CD while I was thinking about this. And it is obviously very digitally compressed. And what I want to explain to people that may not know about what I'm talking about. Dynamic range compression is where you take the quietest part and the loudest parts and you crunch them into one space. Now, FM radio stations have been doing this for a long time because they want the music to generally be heard. If you're driving in your car, they want it always to be heard, quiet and loud parts, right? Compressors have, and those are analog compressors, and they've always been out there. And we've used analog compressors for vocals for quite some time because it's almost impossible for a pop singer to keep their dynamic range in a really good place for a recording where they're competing with instruments and stuff like that. So it's always been out there. But what the digital age gave us was the ability, when mastering, to crunch everything into a very small dynamic range. And the hope was that by doing that, when it's being played on the radio and stuff like that, it gets the attention. But what ends up happening is you're destroying a work of art when you're doing that. And I think if you want to do that on the radio, do that. But on the CD or on the vinyl, stay away from that. And if you want to do it on Spotify, in case there's a playlist, you want yours to stand out, fine. But it's very upsetting. So the point is, this album came out in 2014 during that time where the loudness wars were raging. So that's one thing. One thing is that we need a remaster of this. I think the production on this is great. I think it's the mastering that is at fault. And that can be fixed so easily. I'm going to put up a picture that I got from the loudness database that shows that the vinyl version seems to be mastered better than the CD. I cannot personally confirm that. I've always found that even the vinyl is a little bit too compressed, right? But I listened to the CD today and I was like, that's really compressed. And I also have a video showing what the meter looked like on my DAC while it was playing, and you will see that there's almost no dynamic range. I'm shocked that the CD sounds as good as it does, and I'm thankful that they did not destroy Morrissey's voice when they mastered this, because I bought an album for my daughter, Adele. I'm not a fan. And the album was compressed so badly, it was destroying her vocals. It shocks me that people think that Adele's a good singer, and I'm not saying that she's not. But when I listen to that, it's like, I can't tell. I can't tell if this person can sing because the music is compressed so much. And I posted that, actually. I posted a video of that on Facebook a long time ago showing, look, there is no dynamic range. It's moving between like two very small parts. It's pathetic and sad and disgusting. I don't know how artists, I guess they don't have any choice when it comes to mastering, because it's out of their hands and it is absolutely destroyed. And it may be a work of art that is being destroyed. And this is an album that it's not destroyed, thankfully. I think you can buy used copies of the CD and not fear that it's absolute junk, because somehow it's still good. I'm just saying it could be so much better. And the vinyl seems to be better, but I've seen a lot of complaints. My vinyl copy seems to be good, but I've seen a lot of complaints that the vinyl has a lot of pops and stuff. Now, this was in Europe, and that kind of surprises me, but whatever. So this is what I have. So this is the album we're talking about. World Peace is None of Your Business by Morrissey. And it's on Harvest. And the version I have is this box that has a picture, a print of the album cover, right? You can see. And then it's got all of the lyrics on individual sheets. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe I won't show you that. They look, well, I'll show you just one here. Just so you know. So you get that. So you get the lyrics. That's kind of nice, if you're the kind of person that likes to read lyric sheets. It's like, wow, I can actually read it. Great. And it comes with a double vinyl LP and the CD, right? So I was disappointed when I put on the CD today, because I was like, maybe the vinyl has some slight imperfections and the CD will be better, but I found that it was even more compressed than the vinyl. So, having said all that, why do we need... Have I screwed this up? Yes, it's not an exact square. Okay. Why do we need this to be reissued? Well, the music is fantastic. His vocals are great. I love the lyrics. There's some really good pop stuff on here. There's almost a world music kind of vibe going on. It reminds me of my favorite, when Kate Bush on Ariel, CD2 starts getting into like world music and rhythms and stuff like that. That's when it really takes off. That's when that's a double album. Is it even bigger than a double album? I have the double album of that. It really starts to take off, and it's one of my favorite moments in all of her music. And the Spanish guitar and some of the rhythms that are used in here are also really fantastic. It's overshadowed a little bit by some of the compression of some of the sound effects, where it actually, to me, sometimes it's like, I can tell that's a sound effect that they want with this. And other times I'm like, or is that part of the mastering? Screwing with it, right? And I get that. Like, a lot of the stuff I listen to that's new, and I don't listen to a lot of new stuff because of this. I often have these questions. It's like, is that intentional or is it bad mastering, right? But anyway, let me switch to showing a picture that a picture is worth 1,000 words. The dynamic range on the CD versus the album, and a quick video of what it looks like when you're playing this through a DAC, right? Okay, so here you can see they have 4 different versions here. One is there's 2 downloads, lossless and lossy, and the CD, and then they have the lossless vinyl. And you can see the vinyl has a little bit of yellow and green, showing that it's somewhat decent. But every other version is all in the red. It is absolutely compressed way more than would ever be required. Now, let's get also to the video. Now, I have to apologize for the dust that's all over my DAC. I never touch it. It just sits in the corner. But let's get to that. Yeah, so here you can see there's hardly any movement. It's all way at the top, out of control. Yeah, so, when you're looking at the... now, this is almost throughout the entire album that that it's like that it's just moving between a few notches. And it should be moving quite a bit if you have lots of dynamic range. So some of the life has been taken out of the recording, especially, it seems, on the digital versions. So that, I think, this album is good enough, and there's enough artistry in this album that it's worth fixing that, and then it's worth releasing it again. Now, let's talk about my favorite songs on the album, I guess, right? And to do that, I guess I have to pull it out. Like, I'm actually only going to mention a few songs. But I think the album is great from beginning to end. But Istanbul, Earth is the Loneliest Planet, and Staircase at the University, if you have the vinyl, that's side 2, and it's just tremendous from beginning to end. One of the best 3-song pieces on a piece of vinyl I've ever come across. Side 1 is also great with I'm Not a Man, which, you know what? Go out and listen to it. It starts off with World Peace is None of Your Business. Neil Cassidy Drops Dead. Really shows, Morrissey's love for literature, obviously. And it continues, I would say side 3 and side 4 get more into that mood type of stuff. This is what I'm talking about when I thought Kate Bush was really hitting her stride. They have Spanish stuff going on throughout all of this. It is a real treat. I want this album to be reissued. Now, hopefully, I've been able to put a few songs in this recording to whet your appetite for it. The thing about the CDs is that I do see high prices for them. And they're not extremely high, but they're high. And it's like, it's hard to say go out and buy, spend 50 euros or whatever on something that has very poor dynamic range, right? But the music is worth listening to. And some of it's available. I think there are some YouTube videos of this music as well. But a tremendous job from a tremendous artist that has an incredible voice that I think, it's amazing. He has a voice, the quality of a Tom Jones, and then also has the ability to write music and was writing music from the very beginning, right? It's a complete rarity in my mind to have someone that has both of those avenues kind of covered, And so I know there's a lot of controversy with the artist and stuff like that, but some of it I saw was on The Guardian, and I'm like, I don't even, I've just seen so much attacks and this and that on The Guardian, so I don't pay attention to it. And I listen to a lot of people I wouldn't be, if I didn't listen to artists that I disagree with, I would probably not have such a love for the Ramones, right? I would have had a beer with Johnny. Everyone's like, he was a Republican. I don't care. I listen to his art, But anyway, tremendous stuff. A difficult time for recordings, and I want to see it reissued. And I don't want it to be reissued by Harvest because they screwed it up in the first place. I wish someone else would pick this up and reissue it and do it justice. So that's my spiel for today. Check it out. I hope you enjoy the music that comes along with this video. Have a good night.
Earth is the loneliest planet of all. Earth is the loneliest planet of all. Day after day you say one day, one day. Day after day you say one day, one day. But you're in the wrong place and you've got the wrong face, and humans are not really very humane, and Earth is the loneliest planet of all. Earth is the loneliest planet of all. Live with a loneliness that no one else knows. Time after time you say next time, next time. Time after time you say next time, next time. But you fail as a woman and you lose as a man.